The Bermuda Triangle is one of the strangest, most unknown places on Earth. There have been many mysteries and unsolved stories surrounding the Bermuda Triangle dating back to the time of Christopher Columbus. On October 8, 1492, Columbus reported witnessing a great flame of fire crashing into the ocean. Today it was believed to be a meteor. Columbus also claimed seeing strange lights a few weeks later. The Bermuda Triangle is located between Miami, Florida, Bermuda, and Puerto Rico, and is sometimes referred to as the Devil's Triangle. It has earned this nickname from all the mysterious circumstances of planes and ships disappearing over time. There are many other coincidences surrounding the Bermuda Triangle that to this day are still unsolved. Some of these situations include the USS Cyclops sinking, SS Marine Sulphur Queen vanishing, the disappearance of NC-16002, the fate of Flight 19, blue holes, random compass and navigation malfunctions, gas pockets, and strange weather patterns. One of the most eye-opening facts about the Bermuda Triangle is that it is one of the only places on Earth besides the Devil's Sea off the coast of Japan that points to true north rather than magnetic north on the compass. The difference between magnetic north and true north is compass variation. If somebody was to circumnavigate the Earth and hit a portion of true north, it could be knocked off course by as much as 20 degrees, then grow larger as the plane continued to drift off course. If this compass variation is not accounted for, a navigator could find themselves in big trouble. In 2005, the Coast Guard discussed the topic, saying, although the world's magnetic fields are in a flux, the Bermuda Triangle has remained relatively undisturbed. The National Guard also added a prime detail stating they were swallowed without a trace when asked about the sudden disappearances of planes and ships. By 1964, almost 1,000 known lives had been taken there, still with no sign of the missing vessels. Another major tragedy in the Bermuda Triangle took place in March 1918 when the USS Cyclops mysteriously disappeared, carrying over 300 men and 10,000 tons of manganese ore on board. The vessel was 542 feet long and stopped sending signals somewhere in between Barbados and the Chesapeake Bay. An extensive search for the ship never found any evidence of the ship's disappearance. U.S. President Woodrow Wilson later commented on the disappearance, stating, "Only God and the sea know what happened to the great ship." Two of the Cyclops' sister ships also disappeared in 1941, nearly along the same route. One theory to all the disappearances is mass methane eruptions from the ocean floor. Massive methane gas bubbles shoot from the ocean floor, rocking ships and planes out of control. This is caused by dead, decomposing sea organisms. In 1963, the SS Marine Sulphur Queen vanished in the Bermuda Triangle without a trace. The ship was carrying 15,000 tons of molten sulfur along with 39 crew members. No wreckage from the tanker was ever found. The U.S. Coast Guard later stated that the ship was in awful condition. Fires would often erupt on board. The ship's structure was in bad condition from being transferred from an oil tanker to a sulfur carrier. Also, the ship had a weak back, meaning the keel or undercarriage of the ship was not sturdy and could have easily split in half at any given moment. The ship's last message relay was on February 3, 1963, when the captain relayed a location report. It is likely that a sulfur leak had taken place, causing a massive explosion. Sulfur gas is also believed to have poisoned the crew members, killing them. To this day, the only items found believed to be related to the vessel include 2 pieces of board with the ship's name engraved on them, 8 life jackets, 5 life rings, 1 shirt, 1 piece of ore, 1 oil can, 1 gas can, 1 buoy, and 1 foghorn. The disappearance of NC-16002 was a DC-3 passenger plane that was lost on December 28, 1948 in fine weather. It was flying from San Juan, Puerto Rico to Miami, Florida. It disappeared 50 miles out of Miami port, killing all three pilots, and 29 passengers. It was later revealed that the batteries were not fully charged during takeoff. One of the most mysterious classified mysteries of the Bermuda Triangle is over Flight 19. On December 5, 1945, 5 American Avenger torpedo bomber planes took off from the National Air Station in Fort Lauderdale, Florida at 2:10 in the afternoon. It was a practice mission flight with all students except for one commander. The overall trip was about 120 miles in a triangular form directly in the Bermuda Triangle. Almost an hour and a half after takeoff, Lieutenant Robert Cox received a message from the planes indicating that all their compasses were not functioning properly. The message also indicated that they believed to be somewhere off the Florida Keys. There are a chain of islands south of the Florida coast. At this time in 1945, there was no way to track where you were flying. You needed to know your starting point, how fast you had flown, the direction, and time. Today's pilots have many different instruments to calculate and find location. The Navy later stated that the loss of the squadron was at fault of the commander getting lost at sea. In 1991, 5 Avengers were found 750 feet deep in water off the coast of Florida by the salvage ship named Deep Sea. After further examination of the plane's ID numbers, the Navy declared these planes were in fact not a part of the Flight 19. As many as 139 Avengers were known to have disappeared in the Bermuda Triangle during the war. Later, 2 PBM-5 Mariner seaplanes went out to search for the 5 missing planes, but one blew up shortly after takeoff. The other found no debris and returned to port shortly. Blue holes are presumed to swallow up planes and ships that have sank or crashed. Blue holes are water-filled caves and cavities with a dark bluish color, shade. These so-called caves may be a simple hole in the ground or island indents. They tend to be in more shallow waters. British scuba diver Rob Palmer directed a research session in the Bahamas for a number of years. In July 1977, he never surfaced after a dive in the Red Sea and was later presumed dead. The Bermuda Triangle is best known for not only the mystery surrounding it, but also the rapid and severe weather changes that take place within it. The area is known for violent and unexpected storms with rapid weather changes. These short and small storms form within minutes, and they can go undetected by radar. Waterspouts are also very common, and could easily capsize a ship or destroy a plane. A waterspout is practically a tornado made of water thousands of feet in the air, rapidly flinging around, throwing water everywhere. Other environmental dangers include underwater earthquakes with waves over 100 feet. Scientists have concluded massive amounts of seismic activity in the Bermuda Triangle. Also, the overall topography of the seafloor in the Bermuda Triangle tends to have a gently sloping seafloor shelf to an extremely low drop-off. Some of the deepest trenches in the world are found in the Bermuda Triangle. Ships or planes that have fallen in them will never be found. Last but not least, society has the theory of pirates invading the Bermuda Triangle. In the mid-1970s and 80s, drug runners often pirated boats for their goods and to smuggle drugs. This theory could also bear some truth during war times during World War I. You won't find it on any official maps, and you won't know when you cross the line, but according to some people, the Bermuda Triangle is a very real place where dozens of ships and planes have mysteriously disappeared with no good explanation. Since the first magazine bared the name Bermuda Triangle on it in 1964, the mystery has continued to draw attention to itself. When you dig deeper into most cases, they're much less mysterious. Either they were never in the area to begin with, they were eventually found, or there is a reasonable explanation for the disappearance. Does this mean there's nothing to the claims of so many who have had odd experiences in the Bermuda Triangle? Not necessarily.